just exactly how rich do you need to be? Back in 1984, when I started interviewing self-made millionaires and billionaires, I didn't intend on it to become a study. The Wall Street Journal said a few years ago it was the largest study ever done on self-made millionaires and billionaires. It's been 40 years now. And I never meant it to be a study. I just did it for me. But I actually put my experience into 2 books over the years. I wrote this book, How Rich People Think. A few years later, I wrote this Secret Self-Made Millionaires Teach Their Kids. And both of them have done really well, luckily. But the books are based on my experience interviewing all these super rich people. And one of the things they taught me was really cool. Because I had no money when I started working with them, started interviewing them. And one of the things they said was, once you decide you're going to be financially independent, you have to decide on a size, small, medium, or large, in terms of being rich. So small is where most of us self-made millionaires live. We're either entrepreneurs or we're doctors or attorneys or people on Wall Street maybe, or some kind of small business person where you have more money than you need. Nobody in the Wall Street, we're not appearing on the Forbes 400 list. No one's going to put you in a book called How Rich People Think and talk about how rich you are or anything like that. But you have more money than you need, and you only have to dedicate a certain amount of time and effort toward maintaining, protecting, investing that money. It's a very, very nice life. It's a completely different life than 95% of people in the first world live. Most people spend most of their time worrying about money, and it's really sad. And so it's a completely different life if you've never worried about money. To me, that's the most valuable thing I've found in 40 years, just not worrying about money. That is the best use. That's the best reason to become financially independent, at least in my opinion, is that you don't have to worry about it. It's like worrying about food. If your food's secure, you don't worry about where your next meal's coming from because you know it's coming from somewhere. It's the same as having more money than you need. You know it's coming. You have money in all kinds of different places. Now, it's not crazy money that people write about in magazines or write books about, right? Not like that. That's a medium. Now, when you start to get medium, we're talking 50 million, 60 million, 70 million, 100 million, $200 million, $300 million. Medium size rich, where you're substantially rich. You could have a jet and a helicopter, all these things that are terrible investments, frankly. But people like to be flashy sometimes and, go on social media and say, here's my jet, here's my helicopter, whatever it is. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. And some people want to do that to be a medium-sized rich person. Just understand that after interviewing, hundreds and, over 1,300 people over the last 40 years, a lot of them in this medium-sized category, you will dedicate your life to that. That's going to be, unless you win the lottery, you're going to dedicate your life to being worth that kind of money. You're 24/7 on top of money. If you enjoy that, God bless you, go for it. Some people really do. I never did, but some people really do, and that's good. Now, large, let's move to the large size. You're talking Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, fill in Warren Buffett, fill in your favorite gazillionaire, right? Billionaire, super serious size, someone worth $300, $400, $500 million and more, and up to billions of dollars, right? I think these people do this more because they enjoy what they do and they want to do it 24/7. But understand, if you're going for large rich, your life is money. Your life is about producing money and then protecting money and saving money and all that kind of thing. And that's pretty much what your life revolves around. This is not based on opinion. This is based on, I know hundreds and hundreds of these people around the world. And most of the time, that's all they think about and talk about is money. And a lot of them enjoy it. Some of them do it for other reasons, more ego-based reasons, which is fine. It's their life. But a lot of them do enjoy them. If you enjoy working 24/7, you want to just grind, go for it. Some people do, and that's fine. It never appealed to me. I never thought it was worth it. How fast of a car can you drive? How big of a house can you live in? How big of a steak can you eat? To me, it reaches the point of diminishing return. That's just one person's opinion. Doesn't mean you should believe that or that's right, or obviously. It's all individual. We all get to choose, which is really cool. But you got to choose your size. Here's what I want to wrap up with. Here's my recommendation after 40 years. Start with small. Start with small and see if it's enough. Okay, doesn't mean you have to be a small multimillionaire. Okay, it means small means you have more money than you need. Okay, you're living to your standard a very nice life. You're probably living in a very nice place, a nice neighborhood, and your kids go to very nice schools, any schools you want them to go to, and you have everything you need and more. You're living in an abundance of money. No one's going to talk about you on CNBC. You're not going to be famous because you're rich, because you're not that rich. These are, again, surgeons, super lawyers, super entrepreneurs, or small business entrepreneurs, I should say, not super entrepreneurs. People like that. And it's a very nice lifestyle, I will tell you, because money doesn't own you. You own money. And when you start to get up to medium and large, just my experience with interviewing these people and being around them for 40 years, money kind of owns them in a way, because they've got to keep everything moving, because there's so many people relying on them that if they stop, people lose their jobs. It's a big time thing. An entire sector, of the economy would be affected if Elon Musk went home or Jeff Bezos closed down Amazon. These people have a lot of people relying on them, and so you can't just walk away. It's a big responsibility, and thousands of people usually are depending on you, sometimes more than that. So it's a lot. So if you like that, that's great. But it's a whole different life when you get to medium and large rich. Consider small rich. And if you say, well, Siebold, that's too small for me, man. I want to go big. I want to dedicate 24/7. I want to work. That's all I want to do is focus on money and building. And that's great. If you enjoy that, do it. Just keep one thing in mind. You can't take it with you. And you ain't going to live forever. And neither am I. And you could get cut short, and I could get cut short any day. It happens every day. People get killed in car accidents and plane crashes. You know it as well as I do. Life is very, very uncertain. And if you're just chasing money 24/7 just to see how many numbers you can put in zeros that you can put in your investment account, you might regret that, because you might get cut short. I don't know. Just something to consider. That's all. I'm not pushing one or the other. But while small is vilified, people go, I want to go big. You're talking about being rich small. Okay? We're not talking about you're working, at Walmart as a greeter. You got more money than you need. Okay? More money than probably anyone should have. Okay? But you're not flying up, you don't have a fleet of jets, and you don't have an island in the Pacific, and 18 homes like Elton John or Leonardo. You don't have a yacht like Leonardo DiCaprio, and they're not talking about you on CNBC and seeing, and all that. So you get the idea. Consider small. And if you say, Siebold, you're wrong, it's not good enough not wrong, but you're it's not good enough for me. I want to go medium. I got to be worth at least, $200 million. Okay, if you want to dedicate your life to making money and that's it, and you're going to focus on it 24/7 and you love doing that, go for it, man. If you really enjoy it, do it. I just wouldn't do it for the money, because I don't think the money is going to satisfy you, because I've watched people buy islands. I've watched people buy 10 homes all over the world. I've been with these people on their yachts, and they're not any happier because they have this stuff. The ones that are happy are the ones that enjoyed doing the work to get the yacht or the 10 homes or whatever it is. They enjoyed the work, but they don't really care that much about the stuff. The stuff reaches a point of diminishing return very, very quickly. So you could go big, you could go medium, small, medium, or large. It's completely up to you. But here's what I'll wrap with. Make a decision. Try to make a decision. You can always change your mind. It's your life. Make a decision on which one you want to pursue. I always thought the small was the best, because you could have a life, you could have fun, you could goof off sometimes when you want to, take a vacation if you want to. You don't want to go to work for a month, don't go to work for a month. I always liked that, and you still had more money than you knew what to do with. But you weren't buying islands or jets or anything like that kind of thing. I'm fine, flying on Delta. I got no problem with that. Other people do, and that's okay. But just consider which size you want, because this is going to determine how much time you put into this, how much time you have to dedicate to just making money. There are a lot of things that are a lot more fulfilling than making money, I think. Like family and friends and having fun and enjoying your life while you have this life. We can all get cut short at any given time. And all these social media people that put their jets on social media and they're walking out of their helicopter into their Rolls Royce. I've never even heard of these people typically, and I know a lot of rich people. If I don't know them, or someone I know doesn't know them, they're probably not as rich as they post on social media. But there's a lot of phonies out there that are pretending. They're not pretending they have these things. What they do is they owe more money than they're worth. but they can still buy these things because they buy them through leverage. They buy them through debt. So don't be overly impressed with these clowns that put all this stuff on social media. It's just a whole other thing. I really shouldn't even get into that. But their life isn't as good as you think it is because most of them are in so much debt. They're drowning in debt. Okay, and I could tell you stories, you wouldn't believe about that over the last 40 years. But anyway, so think about this, small, medium, or large, make the choice. Remember, you can always change your mind. It's your life. Start with small. If it's not enough, move to medium. If that's not enough, go large. But, make a decision and then work accordingly because your work ethic, your ambition, your goals, the size of the things you pursue in business to make money they're going to be correlated with the size that you decide to be. You're going to pay the price one way or another. So how high a price do you want to pay? Just something to think about. It's really important as an entrepreneur to make a decision. Again, the good thing is you can always, if it's not, start small. If you can always change your mind and go big. So it's a lot of fun. And, we're all lucky to be able to have the opportunity to live in a first world country, be born in a first world country, or move into one where we have the opportunity to even have a conversation like this when half of the world is spending most of their days, living under, $2 a day, on $2 a day or less, and looking for water and food and all the rest of it. So we're all very fortunate to have these conversations. But, at the same time, it's something to consider and really think about as you go forward. Thanks for watching.